Hello guys, welcome back with Panda. Today I will be reviewing with you the best and the worst micro real estate crowdfunding platform in 2021. And before we go ahead and get started, I want to introduce you to our 4 contenders. The first platform we will be reviewing today is called the Landa app. The second contender we have today called the GroundFloor. Then we have 2 other players. One of them is called Concreit and the other one is the MyHappyNest. Now let's start by the worst app of the year. If we are looking for the worst micro real estate crowdfunding platform, we don't have any winner better than the Landa app. Now the Landa app promise is that you can download the app, buy shares in a single house property and start collecting rent as this property are being managed by the platform. The idea sounds very promising and great. Unfortunately, the platform have been failing big time on managing the whole process. For a starter, I have signed up to this platform for over a year and a half today, and I'm still unable to invest. Now, at some point they had few properties and people actually were able to invest, but even people who invested back then have a very bad experience. You don't need to have to look anywhere further than the App Store in order to see the 2.9 rating, why people angry for refunds or money not being managed properly and so on. The app currently does not have any property to invest in, so congratulations Landa app team, if you are watching this, you are the winner of the worst app to invest in 2021. Now there is a lot of issues come aside from not being able to invest. How they're managing money, the fact that they are making promises they cannot keep. So I have contacted Landa app a couple of times and I'm glad they actually have a support, but the fact that they keep giving you answers that doesn't make much sense. So when you're gonna have a property available, a few weeks, okay, sounds good. 6 months later, the few weeks just never made it. So the fact that they are making promises they cannot keep is concerning. And to my knowledge, they might be under the SEC investigation right now. They have some issues that they need to figure out. Now, I'm not calling the app a scam, but they are doing a lot of bad work in order to position themselves there. Now, I love the UI experience and I think the platform have a lot of promises. Hopefully in 2022 maybe they are able to fix their platform. Now I want to highlight they've been around for a while. This is another reason why I'm really not feeling good about the current situation. I mean, imagine if you are launching a beta app and you are still 6 months in, that's one thing, but if you have been around for 3-4 years and you still cannot get your act together, that's problematic. Now let's move from the losers to the winners. Now we want to go and check the best app of 2021 that you can actually use to invest. Now in number 3 come for us the GroundFloor platform. Now GroundFloor platform allow people to invest in real estate, technically in the flip market. You can give your money to somebody who's gonna buy a house, fix it and put it back in the market and earn a lot of money. Now their target is the investment between 4 months all the way to 12 months maximum. So it's ideal for short-term investors and they are looking at return of investment between 6 to 12%. Now as good as this sounds, they have few issues in which does not make a GroundFloor probably the most exciting platform. One of these stuff is there is higher risk. With higher return, definitely there's higher risk. Another thing I don't like about the GroundFloor that they don't have a mobile app. Now it's not a deal breaker, I'm still investing in the platform, but it's one of the things that I really hope they can address. One more thing I want to highlight for you guys, you are technically doing the investment yourself with the GroundFloor. So it's not it's more like self-managed, not managed by a REIT. You need to select the property. If the property ended up having a trouble, you're gonna have to go through the foreclosure process. The good news is it's still technically secure loan, but all these issues make it harder for me to put GroundFloor compared to REITs, in which you don't have to worry about it. So this is the only reason they are a little bit positioned lower, but again it's still probably the best platform for people who are looking for a short-term investment in the real estate. And my recommendation, if you decided to use this, is just do as much diversification as possible. Now let's move to the other 2 apps that we have today. Now the other 2 apps are both MyHappyNest and Concreit, and I'm going to be honest, I'm having a hard time calling one of them number 1 and number 2. Now I'm gonna make it in a different terminology. I'm gonna say one of them are ideal for people who are looking for investment of 1+ year. So if you're looking to invest today and get your return in a shorter period, or like let's say medium rank, compare if you are trying to look for long-term investment. Now let's start by Concreit. Concreit is allowing you to invest in real estate using the debt principle. So they are taking money, they are loaning it to multifamily housing and commercial properties, and you will be able to earn fixed return. Technically they are trying to change it, but it has been around 5.5% annually, which is overall considered a very good deal. You can invest from as little as a few dollars to get started, I believe from $5. Now Concreit overall is a really nice platform for people who are looking for investments that only last 1 to 3 years. Now you can keep your money further and get your return, but most of the stuff that are doing are positioning them in order to be short-term investment. You can get your money, all of your money and your interest after 1 year without getting any penalties. Now no other platform actually allow you to do that when we're looking at rates. Some of the other advantages Concreit have over the competition is that the return for the time period is considered very decent, which is around 5.5. I did not get that much return even with fundraise in my first year. So if you're looking for short-term investment, Concreit is ideal for these things. Now a few other things I love about Concreit: they have a really great customer support, probably the best I have ever dealt with. They're taking your concern very seriously and they are continuously improving the app. Now I don't believe the app is still positioned at number 1 because they have some gimmicky stuff on the UI that I'm personally not a big fan of. Some of them is instant pay, and a lot of these I understand they are doing a lot of switching back and forth. So the platform, I cannot call it as mature as other platforms, but they are getting really close. It's reliable for sure, but all of these small issues make it not my number 1 app. I also noticed they ask, for example, if you try to do a referral, to get you an access to your phone. I find some of these stuff also problematic. They need to be cautious about how they approach some of these stuff. Now I love some of the things about how they are classifying all of these portfolio. Now you can see pretty much every investment they have. They have a very decent number of investment, I believe 10 investment as of the time I'm making this video. If I am investing $5 or $10 and it's secured loan in this market, honestly I'm very happy with the 5.5 return. So I'm actually using Concreit, but I'm looking at it as a shorter term. So maybe I will withdraw my money next year, maybe a year later. But it's ideal to have money down there that it's not locked for the long term. They also announce their dividend every week, which is really huge. Nobody in the real estate market or REIT or private REITs actually does that, giving them another edge to think of them as a platform that you can use for shorter or let's say medium term investment. Now let's move from Concreit to MyHappyNest. MyHappyNest is ideal for people who are looking for long-term investment. Now the app is amazing. You can invest from as little as $1. And to be honest, I think by far it is the most mature app when it comes to the user experience, as far as how the platform works and as far as how you can find the information. Now, it's not always perfect. They have some issues. One of the concerns I have about MyHappyNest is the portfolio of investment is very small. So they own 3 properties. They don't even own complete 3 properties. It's more like part of them. You can see all of them there. You can see exactly all information, how much money each one of these property making and so on, which is all sounds great. But I'm really looking for them to start expanding and adding more properties, because the way I am looking at it, they are doing the same terms similar to Fundrise and other bigger platform, where if you even withdraw your money, technically within the first year you lose 3%. So when you have this terminology, I need to see you have enough properties for me to trust you. Now I do still think MyHappyNest is a great app. I'm investing in both of these platforms, just like I do with GroundFloor, but I'm looking at MyHappyNest more like long term. So even though they don't have so many properties, I am investing in order for them to have enough money to buy additional properties. Now there's a few advantages I like also about MyHappyNest that's not available in Concreit. One of them is the fact that I can go ahead and request my dividend on a quarter basis. With Concreit, you cannot do that, so it's kind of a disappointment. Another thing, I have been putting both applications head to head over the last few months since I signed up in January. So it's been almost 6 months now. Even though the HappyNest is claiming they are only giving 5% and Concrete is giving more, I'm still having higher return on HappyNest than Concrete, actually way higher. So my Concrete investment, I have around 80 cents, as you can see, compared to probably HappyNest where I'm having 1.5 or something. And a lot of this comes to the fact that when Concrete started in January, they had a lot of issues with money transfer and setting up your profile. Now they are actually fixing this week, which is great for them, but it definitely affected how I'm looking at them compared to HappyNest. Now HappyNest, as I highlighted, is a long-term investment. So if you put your money in, do not withdraw it lower than 3 years. If you did, now I know to my knowledge, when I asked them last time, they are not applying for you any penalties as of this time. But based on the SEC filing, they actually have the right to do so. So I'm assuming it's a matter of time before they deploy it. One additional thing that I like about HappyNest that unfortunately I feel Concrete falls short is how you set up your goals and how can you do the auto investment. Now I'm gonna be honest, for a long time I was not big fan of auto investment, but I'm reconsidering this because let's say I set up $10, $20 and forget about it every month. Now it's very easy for me to have money accumulating and I can just withdraw it later. HappyNest allow me to invest from as little as $20 a month compared to Concrete that require minimum $40 every month if I do auto invest. So some of these gimmicks, even goals wise, I feel HappyNest has the capability of doing it looking much neater. I can set up how much money I'm looking to do on the long term and set it up. These are some of the stuff I believe is a little bit short. Now again, neither of them is perfect. When I'm looking also at the fact that HappyNest, my interest or my dividends are not getting declared until every 3 months. So all I'm gonna say is both platforms are considered good and I would recommend both of the application. Just look at what exactly are you investing in. Are you a long term, short term, or looking for more something between the two, more balanced? So if you're looking for something short, definitely go for GroundFloor. If you're looking for something between 1 to 3 years, Concrete is your app. And if you're looking for long-term investment, hopefully to build your wealth and passive income, I'm gonna say HappyNest probably is well positioned for that. Again, give them time. I'm actually trying not to rush this platform. I know they've all been new and they have been around only for a couple of years for the most part, with the exception of GroundFloor. Now I hope this was a helpful review for you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and put in the description link to each one of these platforms. I am affiliated with both HappyNest and with GroundFloor. So if you decided to sign up to any of these platforms, you will earn a sign up bonus just by using my affiliated link. I believe it's $10 for GroundFloor and $5 for HappyNest. So go ahead and take advantage of the offer. We will get a little bit back as well in order to support the channel. We are not affiliated with the rest, neither Concrete nor Landa, but I will have the link in the description as well. You will also be able to see each and every link for one of my reviews. So I actually reviewed both all of the three, HappyNest, Concrete and GroundFloor separately. I'm going to share with you a link. Just take into consideration, since the time I made the video for each one of these reviews, the UI have changed a little bit. I hope you guys found this is very useful, and if you like this type of videos, do not forget to hit the like button in order for us to provide you with more. Thank you very much and stay tuned with Wealthy Panda.